me. I'm about 4 inches shorter than you.
I have my chair put up really high because I like the chairs high.
I do too.
Okay.
Let me
make your
move
chair-
mine.
Yes.
There.
Much better.
There.
See, I'm still taller, but it's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're so low, then your knee is bent too much.
Right.
That's not
It's
good.
much more comfortable being up higher when it's, and then that way your arms are at the right height and your knitting can rest
Yeah. Yep.
on the table. And, well, I was working on my pinions and it's getting long. So, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, what's new by you this week?
Oh, not much. It seems like we just recorded. After not recording for so long and then only having a week in between, it seems so quick now.
This
So,
is true.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for our retreat next week.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah. So, oh, I sold my house. That was my big news this
That's
week.
true. That is big news.
Yeah. Yep. So, on the market on Tuesday, sold on Wednesday. Gotta love it.
It's amazing.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just no houses out there. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So, did you finish anything this week?
I did.
What
I
did
have
you
two
finish?
finished objects.
Oh, okay.
My first one, I am doing Sarah Shara Imagine Landscapes Gnome Lady knit Gnome of the Month thing.
Okay.
Oh, I got to turn her. I like it that way better.
That's Snowflake. Yeah.
This is Snowflake. And I think this was the first gnome pattern that she did.
Oh, okay.
And because I'm kind of doing them in that order.
Uh-huh.
And so I knit this one. This is just scraps.
Okay.
I don't even know what they are. Well,
this top one looks like the West Yorkshire. No, maybe
no,
it's
not. It's not because I haven't
sparkly.
knit mine. I think it's a Julie Spins.
Oh, okay.
I think is what it is. I don't know. I knit a cowl out of this. I mean, I'm thinking at least 5 years ago. So it was
Okay.
just this little bit, left in
Yeah,
stash.
perfect.
And the blue is just, it's a semi-solid. At
It
first,
looks like Malabrigo's that Matisse blue,
oh,
doesn't
that
it?
could be. That could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the beard is leading men. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just going in my leftover bucket.
Good.
And just pulling
Yeah.
out what I want,
There you go.
And so this is the January gnome.
Very
I love it.
nice.
I love knitting gnomes. They're fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, this one, literally, I cast on the hat and did the hat in like an hour, and then put it down for a couple of days, and then did the body, and the next day, or whatever, when next time I picked it up, and after I had that body done, I stuffed her and then did the arms and beard, and there you go.
Well, you know the whole construction of a gnome, so
That's
you
true.
don't have that
That's
holding
true.
you back.
And for me, it's more of deciding, which components of her pattern, because the basic construction is all the same, and so which components, like this one, is pretty much that first pattern. I didn't deviate.
Basic, yeah.
Yeah, it's the basic gnome. And now the next one, I think I'm going to find something for February. I'm going to find something in my stash that's red.
Okay.
And I am going to, I don't know if I got a red semi-solid of some, I'm going to find something.
Okay.
And it's going to be
Is she releasing a pattern every month?
No,
or
no,
it's
these
just
are
a
all our
knit
old
along?
ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a knit
I think
along.
she said she was going to do 3 new gnomes this year.
Okay.
But I'm knitting old patterns that
Okay.
I've knit already. So, yeah, so I got to find some, I want to do, February's has got to be red or purple or, like a Valentine's Day kind of color. And then March, I know I have leftovers of that Perth rainbow that I did for that Colorwork sweater, that steeped one. I know I have that purple, I know I have that rainbow stuff left somewhere. And so my March one is going to have that rainbow colored yarn for its hat. And then I think I'm going to do some green. I'm sure I've got some green heritage sock at home.
But the Perth is very long stripes. You might only have 1 or 2 colors in that hat if it's the same size.
It's I think it's going to be bigger.
Okay.
The hat is going to be tall.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to choose a tall hat on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of them that the hats are real tall.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Oh, got a text.
Oh,
there you
don't
go.
worry about that. That's just Facebook Messenger.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
pops up on the phone. You just
Yeah.
don't know what the heck.
Yeah, just
At any
ignore
rate,
it.
so that is one FO for the week.
Okay.
And
then
we have my sweater.
Oh yay.
It's not blocked. But and I wove in my ends on my sleeve cuffs, and I've decided I want the sleeves longer. So I will take that all apart and
Are you gonna block it first just to make sure it doesn't relax up here?
no,
Okay.
I want them longer.
Okay.
It came up to like here,
All right.
so that's too short.
Yeah.
So
And
this
it's
is-
not superwash, so it won't grow like some sweaters do.
No. So this is my Lopi sweater.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
I love it. I just
Oh,
love it. So
beautiful.
look at the color work on that. It turned out so nice.
Yeah. It's
So-
gorgeous.
Okay, is it itchy right now? Yes,
Yeah.
it's itchy. And
Uh-huh.
I don't think that Lopi was ever designed to be worn next to the skin anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But-
Probably.
My swatch softened dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
So I anticipate this softening quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I also anticipate putting on, let's face it, I got some cuddle duds or something, and that's so lightweight. Any of those nylon-y or,
Yeah.
cuddle dud kind of pullovers, insulated underwear kind of, well, not insulated, but, because that would be thick. But, a cami, something I will have on under this. I do not think I will ever wear it next to the skin.
Yeah.
Because we'll see. Okay,
Yeah.
if it turns out that it softens enough, okay, maybe I will. All right, but I'm very happy with the finished object.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Once it's blocked, all the bumps and squiggles that you get before blocking are gone. Once those are gone, I can't wait. It's gonna be gorgeous. So I'm thrilled. Now the pattern is called Hecla. It's by Baby Cocktails, Thea Coleman.
Okay.
And I'm very happy with it. I thought the sizing was well done. The sleeves are a bit narrow, but that's this construction of sleeve. You pick up around the armhole. However, I was reading an interesting article this morning, as a matter of fact.
Okay, and what was that?
If you are concerned that this kind of construction of this sleeve is going to be tight, and you don't like tight arms,
Right.
knit the sleeves one size up. And you just
Oh,
modify it in your pickup. And did I, here I did skip a stitch here and there. That's what the pattern told me to do, so that's why I did it.
Yeah.
But so you just do this part, the body section is wide enough. What happens is when you pick up your sleeve and then you start your decreasing, it starts to get narrow. So my thought was if I had maybe 5 or 6 more stitches around this armhole, that would have given me about an inch. That would have made the difference.
How soon do you start decreases?
This one is literally 2 rows.
Oh, see, that's always a modification I make in a sweater. No matter what, if it's wherever it starts decreases, I wait until it's at least 2 inches in. Then I start making
That would make
decreases.
sense.
Yeah.
Am I going to rip these sleeves out to redo this? No. But I will say, because I haven't done this construction in quite some time, I will say that if I do this construction again, I will make that modification.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I will pay attention to that. But, other than that, I am very happy with this. Oh,
Cool.
and the other thing I would do, I would do a slanted bind off. This has got the steps where you bind off some and then you bind, like that.
Yeah.
There's a technique called a sloped bind off
Yeah.
that gets rid of the stair step effect. I have to find the website where I read about it. And
Yeah.
I think I know where it is, but I'm not 100% sure. I got to go do some digging.
I think it's mostly just like short rows. You know, instead of binding off.
No.
You
It's
stop and then you come back and you bind off all of it at once.
no,
at the
no.
end.
It's not a
No?
short row. No, it's a bind off.
Okay.
It's a bind off, but you do something different in how you do it, and it ends up being a diagonal.
Okay.
And I tested a sweater for Stephanie Latvin, and I know I used it on it.
Yeah.
I know
You'll
I
have to
did
find
it. But the sweater that I'm thinking I did it on is not available yet.
Oh.
Okay. So, and I tested, it's a one I did last summer.
Okay.
So I can't say too much about it because,
Yeah.
I'm sworn to secrecy. But,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking if I would just go, I don't know if I can find that pattern yet in my, it would have to be in my iPad, saved file somewhere because I know I didn't save the original. But nonetheless,
Well, I had one pattern once, like where it says bind off 6, and then whatever the next is. We would just slip those and then do that next part. And
that
then
might be it. I don't
Yeah.
remember what the technique was, but there is a way because, like, you
Yeah.
can see. You won't be able to see this,
In the
obviously.
seaming.
You can see it here and here in the seaming,
Yeah.
where this will probably block out, but I see a
Uh-huh.
bump here and here, and I know that that's where those
Yeah.
part of those rows were. This will probably block out, and it will probably be fine.
Uh-huh.
But I know it's there now, and I
Yeah.
know that if I would have used that technique like I used in that other sweater,
Mm-hmm.
this would not be an issue.
Right, and you too can, if you're going to not do the steps and you have the slope, you could even put those on a holder and do a 3-needle bind off for your seam.
Yeah, but I think this one she wanted this. I think the shoulders need to slant down.
Okay.
The slant made
Right.
sense to me. I thought
Right.
about just doing a 3-needle bind off.
Oh, but I would still want the steps, but they would. There's steps,
Then you'd
but
gotta
not
do
steps.
If you do steps but not steps, it would be a short row.
Right.
Yeah, you'd have to do short rows in there, and then
Right.
you could do a 3-needle bind off. That
Yeah,
would work.
I think I've done that already.
Yeah, that would definitely have worked.
Yep.
So at any rate, I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny. I mean, Lord knows this isn't the first sweater I ever knit, but I did learn things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's valuable.
Sure. Yep.
So I had fun knitting it.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, and
Talking about learning things, you know what I I got my steak sweater out again. from
Yes.
When we did those, it was like, okay, what was I gonna do here? And I had to go back and watch our podcasts.
really,
Then I figured out, oh yeah, that's how I wanted to do the steak. So I did the ribbing flat, and then I cast on 5 stitches in between.
okay,
And I'm marking that with a stitch markers right now.
right.
But I just wanted to go back and make sure because it's been so long since I worked on that sweater.
Well, now that I think about it, I think on mine, yeah, the ribbing was flat.
Yeah.
Mine was top-down construction, but I think when I got down to where the ribbing started, I think I bound off my steek stitches too.
Oh, okay.
I think I did. That rings bells. So yeah,
Yep. So, so I'm working on that at home.
wow.
So what's this here?
Okay, this is the experiment. This is a swatch. I swatched for an Afghan. It's a new yarn. It has, you can see it if you look in here. There's that thing, that thread.
like a nylon thread in
Like
there.
a nylon thread. So this is a blanket, and I don't know if you can see, there's this little gray nylon thread in there. This yarn is supposed to glow in the dark. I don't know if it'll glow in the dark or not, but it's an experiment. I'm knitting it, and we shall see.
Let me check it out.
Oh, she's gonna go in the bathroom. I don't think it does, but I think it does catch light, and it has reflective qualities. And the only reason I say that is I saw it when I moved it up No, it probably doesn't. But when I was at home and it was sitting on the counter, there
Probably
are
has to go in sunlight first.
no, there's reflective qualities.
Okay.
And I think this isn't necessarily glow in the dark. I think it's reflective.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And that's
Yeah.
where it gets its sparkle. It's called Starlight. And this is it's an Aran weight, and Starlight soft. There's also a bulky one.
Mm-hmm.
But the bulky one is wool with this thread.
Okay.
And whereas this is the acrylic.
Okay.
So it's going to be an Afghan, and I am going to knit said Afghan. Oh, I did all the math of this morning.
Okay.
There I was, because I had my swatch, and I had my calculator, and I had my pattern, because the pattern calls, the pattern calls for worsted. And this is Aran, and it knits up pretty beefy. So I said, well, I'm going to need to do some modifying. So I am going to take my pattern, which calls for, oh boy, I think it was 230 stitches or something like that. And I'm going to pare it back to 186. No, 188. 188.
Okay.
And then the other thing that it does, because that was knitted in wool and blocked, the curling on the sides, because you don't have edge stitches on this pattern, they blocked out, you know, and you can block stockinette flat.
Yeah, but it doesn't always hold.
Well, it doesn't always hold it, that's true. But for a blanket, are you going to worry about it so much? I don't know. Well, I decided, though, that when I looked at this swatch before I got it, I steamed it, this side, and that's why, if you notice, I did
Hold it up.
oh, yeah, hold it up. Okay, so this side is garter. This side, I did not do the garter on my swatch because I wanted to see what was going to happen, whether it was going to curl, and if it curled over there, well, then I knew that this end would hold its shape, okay? And then, so that's why I have the two edges different on purpose. I knit it quite wide, you know, and I knew I had to have at least 4 inches because I wanted to see what it would do. Now, I liked the beefy fluffiness that I got pre-blocking, but this is acrylic, and so I just took some steam to it, and the steam just flattened it. So I will not block this at all when I'm done.
Yeah, it must have been too hot for it.
Well, you know what? To be truthful with you, I don't know what my iron was set at. Okay, the last thing I ironed was Girl Scout patches, so my iron might have been pretty high.
Yeah.
Because I had to iron on Cora's badges on her sash.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently her mother doesn't know how to iron either.
Okay. Okay.
At any rate, so this is the experiment. When your daughter-in-law calls and says, hey, you want to try this? I said, sure. So she found this yarn, and she ordered it and had it shipped to me, and it arrived yesterday, and I swatched today, and we'll see. I personally think that fiber in here, you can feel it. And I think the yarn itself is soft.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Oh, well. You'll fulfill her request.
Yes, I will.
No
And
matter
oh,
what.
and then the thing is, I calculated how many stitches, how many rows for the pattern number repeats, because I got 5 colors and all of this stuff, you know, because the row repeat on this is 18 rows, so I know I have 360 rows. So, to complete said Afghan in 36 days, I must knit on this 10 rows a day. So starting on January 20th, I'm going to knit 10 rows of this every day.
That shouldn't be a problem because 188 stitches.
I know.
That's only
but-
half of most of your
Okay, but
shawls.
you're right. Absolutely. This row won't take me long, and it's a size 8 needle, and it's going to grow. But see, here's the deal. I want it done before the end of February so that when I'm packing my suitcase to go to California, it's done.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is I want to give myself a little wiggle room because if I have leftover yarn, I'll knit a pillow to match.
Okay.
Just because. What is Ashley going to do with yarn like this?
Right.
Okay? I know she'll say to me, because I'll say, well, what do you want me to do with the leftovers? And I know that she'll say to me, well, I don't need them for anything, because obviously she doesn't knit. And I think this is actually for her sister, but, and Tanya is a really good person, so I can call her knitworthy. Yeah, so I figure I'll knit a pillow to match or something like that, you know, with the leftovers, because she'll have no use for it.
Okay.
That's why I want to be done. So, January 20th, 10 rows a day.
All right.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep.
So.
Well, talking about calculating, I'll be calculating.
Yes.
Oh, let me tell you the story first.
It's funny.
Back in October, I borrowed Lexi's...
Oh, it was in October already?
Lexi's Shifty. I brought it here. I showed Diane because she wanted to see it. And then I put it in the bag and put it back by my back sewing machine. Like a week or two later, I went to get it to take it back for her. I couldn't find it. It wasn't there.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know this was in October.
Yeah. And I looked. I've looked like 3 or 4 times. I've looked through everything to see if I can find it. It's nowhere. And yesterday, Lexi texts me, when do I get my sweater back? And I was like, oh, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I lost it. I owe you a new sweater. So I have been wanting to make the Cedar Valley poncho. Remember that? I've been wanting to make that pattern and stop at the end of the lace and split for sleeves. So that's what I'm attempting to do here. I have the top of it done. I'm on row 11 or 12 of the chart now. I don't know if you can see it. It's not really attractive yet until we get this going. I have 5 skeins of this yarn. This is the Earth yarn, the Harvest. Color is hazelnut. So I'm using that. And I got all my numbers out of my Strange Brew book. I went in, well, just the inches, because I don't know my gauge exactly yet. I'm going to wait until I get into the stockinette part before I measure my gauge. But I have all the inches. The book tells you, you know, if you have size 42.5 is what I'm making around, then you have a 15-inch around your sleeve and 19-inch long body. It gives you the 5 measurements you're going to need.
Does it do the armhole depth too?
Yeah, that was 9.75.
Okay, because that one will matter.
Yeah, how long I make this lace.
Yeah.
As I might have to cut out 1 repeat of the lace, depending. So we'll see.
See, that would be that. The rest of this, you know, as far as your sleeve width and the body length and that stuff, that is easy to do. But I always struggle with this.
Yeah.
Because, especially on a raglan construction, because if your row gauge is off, and, you know, I'm saying you're following a pattern, not making one up as you go. You know, if your row gauge is off, like on something like this one. Oh, wait, no, this is the saddles construction. Never mind. I'm thinking of a top-down raglan, okay? Just any top-down raglan. When you are doing that, if your row gauge is off, this part ends up either too long or too short. Right. And that's kind of a problem, you know, when it comes to fit. So that row gauge really does matter.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can add extra rows in down here with no increases.
Yeah, you can if it's not the right length.
You just got to be aware of it.
But you have to be aware of it. I think that's really the issue. You know enough to know that this can't be too long or too short. There's a dimension it needs to be.
Right, but, so I'll keep measuring it.
Yeah, but I will tell you, there was a period in time when I would just follow the pattern, and where my armpits ended up, they ended up. And, well, there are things in my closet that didn't fit. Yeah. You know, because of that. Yep. So.
I have needles on here that are new needles for me. This is the Royale set from Knitter's Pride. It's one of their older sets. This is called the Special Set, Special Interchanger. It's because they're 4-inch tips and 16-inch cables. And then I just grabbed a longer cable now and switched the cable
Well, yeah,
from a
'cause
different set.
other cables will fit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a mindful cable with the swivel. I don't know if I like that one, but I have all my cables from my carbons at home. I have the 5-inch tips of carbons. And now what Royals are nice is they have the same metal tip that the carbons have. But the body of the needle is the wood like the Dreams. So I wanted something that's easier on the hands, wood, and still have the metal tips. So I think this is going to be perfect for that. So I have my 5-inch carbons, and then these are in 4-inch, and I wanted 4-inch, especially for when I make hats and sleeves. So I have it now. So
Well, you know, that's something to really think about. You know, when you're like doing Christmas knitting and your hands get tired, switching to a softer needle like a wood needle really will do your hands some good.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I want a set, because especially now that I'm not working, I'm knitting a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I knit a lot before, but now there are days where I will stop knitting because, like, you know, my hands are tired.
Yeah.
You know, but a carbon or a wood needle is softer in your hands, and it really will make a difference.
Yep.
So.
Yep. You want me to finish with my
Okay,
whips?
go for it, because I don't have anything else over here.
This is what else I'm working on at home, as I'm still working on my quadrangle spires. I'm still on the first ball of each yarn.
Wow.
So each row is 211 stitches.
That's not
right now on the 1/2. Oh, and I'm tangled. I'm sorry. I should have made sure this was...
She's got some yarn mess here. There you go.
Okay. So we had the center. I got to look and see if you got it in there. The center
is the orange part here.
Yeah, we started in the very center, worked each triangle. We talked about this before. And now I'm working out over here, and the colors are changing because I'm using Connie, and I'm just going to keep going. And my buddy Dawn, who is doing it with me, is done with hers, and I still have a long way to go.
Oh, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, this is a really cool use of Connie.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be a neat place for it. Now, Dawn's ended up 3 feet by 9 feet.
That's huge.
Blocked. And mine was a good 2 inches wider than hers in just this part.
Okay, so you're going to have a schlanket here for sure.
Yeah. I think she might have added a couple extra repeats in the length. I won't, obviously, because I'm not going to need it. So, yeah. That is my Quadrangle Spires by Stephen West in Connie. All right, your turn. What are you working on?
I'm not allowing any new cast-ons until Pinions is off the needle.
Yay!
So you guys have seen it. Let's see. Last time we podcasted, I was maybe back here. Well, now I've added this on. So we're getting there. That's all of, you know. And so we've got the bottom edge. This is the neck edge, and it's going to be a poncho, but not poncho, because you don't want Casapinka to hear you say poncho, because no ponchos, not cool. So,
is there a difference in the edges?
Yes.
Okay.
This is just a stockinette edge.
Okay.
And it's that's why you see the little bit of curling there.
Okay.
And there it's an I-cord.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Okay.
So, yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, it's pretty wide, yeah. Wider than a normal wrap would be, for sure.
Yeah, and so, well, I added 12 stitches, too, to make it wider, because I wanted it to come down a little longer. And I guessed at that. I had no idea at the point in time. And so now I've got to do 3 more pinions. Yeah, there's 3 colors left in the bag. 3 more pinions, and then block it. And then it gets sewn together. And what's nice is I have got all my ends woven in already. I did the Weave and Steven on these.
Okay.
that's all done. So it's not like I got to spend a lot of time weaving in ends or anything like that. So my goal is to get this off the needles by Sunday. I'm thinking with 3 more pinions to do. I know I'm not going anywhere tonight or tomorrow, so I know I'll have good knitting night time. And then get it on the blocking nets on Sunday, and then I'll seam it together. And I have seen some finished ones where people have done the cowl neck on it, and some where they have not. And one of them I saw, which was two of them that were finished, they had all of the colors like this, but they didn't have the cowl on them. They just wore a cowl neck sweater underneath it, or if they put it on their mannequin, they put a cowl neck. So they had like one was a black cowl over a multicolored, and another one was a white cowl over a multicolored. So then that got me thinking, I don't know what color I would want.
Oh, yeah.
If I was going to do a solid neck, I don't know. So my plan right now is to take my leftovers.
That's
and
what I would do.
I would just, and I'm going
Just
to
do 2 rows, 1 garter bump of each color.
Well, I don't know if I can't remember, but I think the cowl is stockinette.
Oh. Okay.
And so then I might knit a couple rows of each color. Like, what I think I'm going to do is look at how, I know my row gauge is about 8 rows to an inch. So I'm going to look at how many inches. And then I'm going to kind of space out my stripes. And I'm going to kind of plan my stripes a little bit. Not a lot, but, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, beginning of round, change color. If I get close, I'm going to try to use up, because oh, I don't have any in here. They're all at home. You know, I get a little ball about yay big for every color. I did not run out of any color except this one, but I have more of it. You know, so if I wanted to include it, I could.
That was this one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This one. It's my favorite leading men color, this one. Because I did that exoskeleton out of it. And I love it.
That one would go with this yarn, too.
Yeah, it would. Well, so anyways, I have more. So I could put this in if I wanted to. But what I'm thinking is I'll figure out how many rows, based on my row gauge with the stockinette, how many rows I need based on the inches that it calls for in the pattern. I mean, I haven't looked it up yet. And then just like, okay, I got 21 colors here. How many rows per color? And if one doesn't have enough, like this pink, I have a teeny tiny ball left. That
and the one you're working on now, you're not going to have much.
Yeah, and you know what? I might not have much. You know, I don't even know really if my little load of leftover balls is even going to be enough yarn.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know that. So I'm going to have to do some estimating, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So that's going to be a little bit of an experiment.
Sure.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm working on, and no new cast-ons till
Till
this is
that's
off
done.
the needles.
Okay.
That's a rule.
All
I'm
right.
trying to be. I got New Year's resolutions with my knitting. Okay, I set some very concrete goals. I want to do 4 new things this year. One of them is knit my Lopi, which I did.
Okay.
There's 4 new yarns I want to knit, okay, that I have either A, in stash, or B, can get it readily, okay. One of them was this, okay, Lopi.
Okay.
Another one is to knit my Kiviat. Okay, when your husband buys you a ball of Kiviat for your birthday, which was last May, you had darn well better knit said ball of yarn before your next birthday, or he'll
Yeah.
never do something so cool again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to knit that. That's going to be my next, after I've got 2 other projects I need to have done for gifts.
Okay.
So I got to get those done. And then I'm going to knit my Kiviat. And so I got it out. I'm ready. I printed the pattern this morning. So, yeah, so I got to do that. It was Kiviat. Oh, I have some Brooklyn tweed shelter. I've never knit it
Okay.
in my stash. I want to knit it. And oh, I don't remember what the fourth one was, but it was 4 new yarns that I either saw somewhere that I said, ooh, I want to knit that, or I have it already and I still haven't knit it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to finish one of my UFOs every month. And this month,
What qualifies it as a UFO? It has to be prior to January 1st, 2022?
correct.
Okay.
So technically, because I started this in December, this could be my UFO for the month.
Okay.
It could be, although there are plenty more sitting in their project bags at home that I could pick up a one and finish it up.
Okay.
I've got some socks on the needles that have been on the needles for a while. It's my car project. Well, maybe it's just time I finish my car
Yeah.
project, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten nailed at a railroad crossing going home for a really long time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're not going back and forth at school time anymore.
well, that's true. You know, talking about driving my car, yesterday I take my car to get an oil change, and, you know, we got that fancy synthetic oil, and so you don't have to change your oil to like 5,000 miles. Okay, so that means, though, then when they give you the coupon that knocks some money off the price of said fancy oil, the coupon
It
expires. So it expires before we can even use the silly thing.
Okay. Oh,
I do
darn.
not, I literally just rolled 10,000 miles on my car, and I picked up my car on December 31st last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or, well,
Yeah.
December 31st, 2020. And I barely rolled 10,000 on it,
Okay.
you know, and so, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should move further away from the yarn shop. I'd get more miles. But anyways, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I know I've got very distinct goals. I want to finish my master knitter stuff.
Okay.
That's on there. But yeah, I made a list. There's like 6
Okay.
things of things I'm going to do.
Okay. I have no list, no make 9. You know, because projects like this pop up and you don't expect them. I always expect the unexpected. That's my list. Expect the unexpected.
Well, that kind of works for you though.
It does. Because I see something on Ravelry and I'll be like, oh, I have to make that.
Yeah.
And I do it immediately.
Okay, and I saw a sweater on Ravelry I have to make.
Oh.
And so now I'm trying to find the right yarn.
What
And
sweater was it?
I don't even know. You know what? I can show it to you when we're done.
Okay.
Because yeah, and it's got this real pretty leaf motif on the front and cables alongside it, and
Oh, is it a Barocco pattern?
I have no idea.
I might have got that in my Barocco email this week.
Well, I don't get Barocco emails, so I don't know. I have
Was
no
it
idea.
like Aran weight?
No,
Okay.
I don't
All right,
think
you
so.
can show me afterward.
Okay. Well,
All right. Well, let's talk about what's new.
a whole basket of Lopi.
More Lopi.
Okay, so that sweater. Okay, if I was
Uh-huh.
gonna knit that again.
Well, I think that
These-
is that the green?
No, it's a different green. I looked at the number. It's close, but no.
Oh yeah, mine is greener. Yours is more sage. So we have these 6 colors new.
These 3 go together. These 3 go together. These 3 go together. And these 3.
I like this one with the blue too.
Oh, yeah. You could do that with, let's say you're doing a 2 color. But I was just doing the 3 because
And
of
then
that.
we have those 2 colors that are the top half of yours still
Yes,
left.
yes, yes. The green was from my stash and doesn't have that one. But whatever.
Yeah.
This sweater called for 3 colors.
So right now we have 8 colors of Lopi in the store.
And you know what? Don't be afraid to knit it. It's beautiful. It knits up really, really nice. I know that people talk about this. You feel it. Okay, let's face it. You feel it. It's itchy to the touch. And I will tell you, knitting it, sometimes it felt like I was knitting with straw. But knowing that my swatch just softened and bloomed and has nice drape, I love it.
Yep.
So, great colors. The other thing I think I'm going to do is take some like these, and then I got some of that white left, and maybe this one, and then knit mittens with it.
Like Selbu or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got
Yeah.
I've got a couple patterns that call for heavier weight yarn Selbus.
Were you in the first 2 years of the Skandier Knits Selbu Club?
I have them probably.
Okay, I thought you were. Because they always had like 2 fingering, 1 DK, and 1 worsted.
Right.
So then you could use the worsted pattern.
Yeah.
Now you said you thought of it as an Aran, but I looked at it today and it said it recommended size 4.5 to 5 millimeter needles, which is 7 to 8. So to me, that's worsted weight.
I know, but when you look it up on Ravelry, it tells you it's Aran, number 1, and number 2. When it blooms, it blooms.
Yeah.
I think it could be knitted either way. I really do.
Okay.
I really do. I knit this on a size 7 needle,
Yeah.
which that's a worsted gauge,
That's a worsted, yeah.
and I believe the pattern calls for worsted yarn. So
Okay.
who knows? Whatever. So at any rate, it's finally here. It did take a long time for this stuff to come in. So
There was a worldwide shortage on Lopi there for a while. I know people, even in Europe and everywhere were saying they couldn't get Lopi.
wow,
So, yep, now it's all coming in again.
it's beautiful. Have
Yep.
fun with that.
We also got in another color of the remix. This was
Was
on
that a back order?
This was on back order one. We got all the other remix chunky. So now we have this,
That's a pretty
I
color.
forgot what it's called.
Doesn't say.
No, it just has color numbers on here. It's color 9984, whatever that translates to.
It's pretty.
Yeah. And then we got soak in. We were out of soak for a while, and the celebration just came in. That was on back order. I have some grapefruit that I just got in today up there. I didn't even mark it yet. But the unscented is still on back order.
Wow.
But yeah, so we have soak again.
I'm out of soak. I had to resort to eucalyptus, which is fine.
Oh,
But if you have allergies,
yeah.
that eucalyptus in there, it probably doesn't work real well for you.
yeah. I got some eucalyptus, and that's what I was using on my Christmas knits at home, because I was out of the scentless here. So I just got that, because I can get that from where I get the raw wool from.
Okay.
They sell eucalyptus there. So I got it from there. But now I'll take soak home. Well, when the back order comes in, I'll take the scentless home. I got a big, it's like a 16-ounce bottle of eucalyptus.
Well, I literally, because you were out of soak, I just went to Amazon
Yeah.
and bought a bottle of eucalyptus. I couldn't get soak on Ravelry
Mm-hmm.
or on Ravelry on Amazon. It was not Prime, and I thought I'm not paying for shipping
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
had to
have
pay
Prime.
extra.
So
I had to pay extra shipping for this. It doesn't come with the regular order.
well, that's probably because of the weight.
Yeah. Yep. It's like the soak and fabric bolts. If you order them from the Notion place,
Mm-hmm.
then it's extra
Wow.
drop shipping or whatever they call it. So, yep. I was going to say, a bottle like this will last me for 4 years if all I'm doing is blocking it. But at home, I wash the wool that I dye with it too.
Oh,
So I'll go through that eucalyptus at home pretty quick.
okay.
Yeah, because I like to wash all the yarn before I sew it just to make sure it's not going to bleed all over
that
the
makes
place.
sense.
Yeah. And if it does bleed all over the place, then it's personal use yarn. Yeah.
Yeah, that can't be good.
No. Yeah, sometimes you can just cook it again, it'll be fine, but I don't like to sew it if it's going to bleed. I've had colors that I just, they won't, like a navy blue, that no matter what, it bled. So I just pitched it, don't even use it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the
A lot
way
of
it is.
pitching yarn.
Yeah.
That just scares me.
So, and I pitched the whole pot of dye.
Oh gosh.
Like all the powder, get rid of it. I mean, because I even tried it that I just put a little bit in with the green to make a teal, and it still ran.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then you don't want it.
Yeah, you don't want it.
So,
So I got to get back to dyeing, though. I'm really itching to do it. It's just I haven't found the time, with being sick, and then I had to sell the house, and our Christmas in there, no time to dye. But after the retreat, I will be back to dyeing.
Okay.
Dyeing yarn, that is, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
No, thank you.
The kids yell at me all the time. Don't say you're dying.
I guess that kind of makes sense. Don't say
Yeah.
you're dying. I mean, considering the fact that, last month you spent the whole time sick with COVID,
Yeah.
and
all
then you
by myself. Nobody around.
And now you want to talk about dying.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll just tell them I'm going down the basement and dying, and they don't like to hear it. Sounds bad to them.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. So, okay, that's all I have.
Okay, well, me too.
Alrighty.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
2 weeks. 2
Yeah,
weeks.
2
We'll be
weeks.
at the retreat next week, so we're not going to podcast from the retreat.
Right.
We have way too much other goofing off to do.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
So, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.